everyone, Taya here from Quilting Delights, and it is a cold Friday morning here in Portland, Oregon, and I imagine it's pretty cold across the rest of the country too. It's the middle of winter, and what that means is we've been here inside working and coming up with great ideas for you to carry in your store. We represent three brands, Quilting Delights, the Storable Bliss, Threaded Bliss, and the Tool Connection. All three of those brands are ours, and we're going to share some of the products from those today so that you can bring them into your store. In February, we had a contest for those dealers that are participating with us and purchasing products from us, and yesterday we announced 7 winners of gift certificates to purchase wholesale at our store. So if you have received notification of that, great. We're looking forward to helping you. And if you have not received notification, we will be reaching out tomorrow and helping you place an order with your gift certificate. We're going to run the same promotion again in March, only this time we're doing $500 gift certificates. And we will announce the winners on March 17th, which is St. Patty's Day. And we wish everyone the best in making that happen for you. Okay, let's get right into it. Today I want to share products that we can bring to you. We do not distribute any of our products through the distributor network because we want to keep our prices as low as possible, and that means we can keep our prices for you at wholesale as low as possible. If you are a consumer watching this video, and we have a lot of YouTube subscribers, so we want to make sure that we make this clear. Our goal with this video is to have you go back to your sewing centers and your dealers if they are not carrying our products, to encourage them to carry our products. We want these out there and available for you to use. All of the ideas that we come up with here are because these are products that I want, that my staff want, that our Bernina owners want, and so we're designing and creating and inventing things that make your quilting life easier. So let's get right to it. We're going to start by talking about our newest invention, which is the Bernina BSR ruler work attachment. And you can see this is the attachment that comes, this metal attachment is one of the ones that comes with the stitch regulator. And what we've done is but it's flat. And so you can only do free motion quilting with it safely. It's very dangerous to do any ruler work with this because it has the potential to slide under the ruler. So what I did was I invented a attachment to the BSR that's compatible with the BSR. And I invented it in 3 different sizes. A 1/4 inch, the outside edge is a 1/4 inch from the needle, a 1/2 inch from the needle, and 1 inch from the needle. So when you're doing ruler work, it's really easy to do echo quilting around ruler shapes like circles and ovals, and also to do grid quilting. So if you are a Laura Heine enthusiast, if your shop does Laura Heine quilting, collage quilting, this makes it super easy to do straight line stitching and cross hatching on those quilts, which is a style that she, I don't know if she came up with it, but she certainly made it a lovable quilting technique. And now this 1 inch disc allows you to do that. All of these discs are made in the USA. We had originally thought that we would make them clear because we needed, well, just because we thought that's what we were going to do. But it was so expensive, and we had to source them out of China to do that. And now we have products that are made right here in the USA. And one of the things that's great about that is we can get them whenever we want them. So we don't have backstock issues. Right now, in fact, I think we have about 1,500 available to ship out, and another run of these getting started the first week of March. So be assured that these are available. The thing that I want to share with you is that they come in a really nice box, so your customers will be able to find them easily in all of their supplies. And the instructions take you to 2 downloads for placemats and a quilt. And the reason we added these downloads, free downloads for your customers, was because we've got to get them started sewing and quilting as quickly as possible. I think many of us buy tools and then we don't use them because we either don't know how or we're afraid. So the first stitch is the most important one because that's what gets people started. And the projects that we've designed for this, one of them is absolutely a beautiful quilt, but the other ones are placemats, and get them going on using the stitch regulator with their sit-down machines as quickly as possible. We also have many tutorials, YouTube tutorials on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Quilting Delights. You can use any of these tutorials in your classrooms to help promote or show customers how to use this. If you want to set some classes, we are filming almost every week with new classes coming on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, as quickly as we can get them posted. And just so you know, your customers are watching them, and your customers are loving them, and so are ours. As a retired Bernina dealer, I was a Bernina dealer for 15 years, I know that I have a lot of customers that will never purchase a sit-down Q20, Q16, or Q20, Q24 on the frame. They either don't have the money for it, or they don't have the room for it, which is my problem at home. I don't have any place for a sit-down. And or they've spent all of this money for a really fantastic machine and an accessory that will do quilting, but they can only use it for free motion. So what we've done is we've been able to help customers, help Bernina owners with, if they have a cabinet, they can use their cabinet now with the stitch regulator. We have Teflon Easy Glide pressing sheets that go down, and I'll talk about those in a second. And being able to use their Bernina with the stitch regulator for free motion and ruler work in their cabinet is a game changer for them. So for $109, these retail for $109, they can get maximum use out of their $1,000 accessory for their Bernina. So just consider that. We keep ours up front in a basket just like this with the placemats underneath them. And customers that come in that are Bernina owners just absolutely think this is the hottest thing since sliced bread. So that's the Bernina Stitch Regulator compatible ruler work attachment. And again, it comes in a set of 3 with free downloadable patterns, lots of support on YouTube, and that's $109 retail. For those of you that are watching, if you want us to email you a wholesale price list and how to access wholesale pricing on our website, just send a request in the header, put in the subject line, put wholesale pricing, and let us know who you are and what you need so that we can get that wholesale pricing to you. If you're a consumer, again, go to your local quilt shop or your local sewing center and let them know that you want these products in their store so that they can support you. Okay, let's get on with some of our other products here. One of the things I just wanted to mention real quick, if you are a shop owner and you are interested in any kind of machine quilting, we do not sell these, but I highly recommend them and that you get them from Brewer. Amanda Murphy Good Measure Rulers and Amanda Murphy's Ruler Work Quilting Idea Book. They are fabulous. And the other rulers that we really like are from So Kind of Wonderful. They have 2 sets of curved rulers that are long arm quilting curved rulers that are fabulous. So check those out with your local distributor. We do not sell these, but I can tell you where to get them to support your store. Okay, so you'll notice that we have these Easy Glide Teflon sheets. And what I love about these, first of all, they come in very large sizes at really great prices. This is a really, a fairly thick Teflon. And what we do is tape it down. So we have 2 different kind of tapes. We have a paper tape called Tack It Down, which is what we've used here to tape to our cabinet. And it's used for many other things, but I like it because it doesn't leave a residue and it just peels right off. We also use this in machine embroidery and when I'm doing long arm quilting, and we had someone bring in a quilt that had lace around, or handkerchiefs. I don't remember what it was, but it was lace. And we didn't want it to get caught on the foot. So what we did was we taped it down, and then when we were done, we just pulled it off. It was awesome. So this is a very versatile tape. It's called Tack It Down, and 3 rolls, 10 yards each for $8.99 retail. So it's a great price point too, because they're going to be able to share with their friends, or they'll just use it again and again. All right, the other tape that is selling like hotcakes right now, you know, Amanda Murphy and Alex Anderson's rulers, Quilter Select rulers have a coating on the back, which is really helpful in not sliding on the fabric. But the problem is they don't have anything on the top, and the surface of rulers is very slick. So this Rough It Up tape goes on the top of your rulers that have a finish on the bottom, and it actually gives you a grip. It gives you a grip to hold on to. It's just awesome. Now, for those long arm rulers, like So Kind of Wonderful does not have any kind of a finish on the back, and so their rulers tend to slide a little bit. The Rough It Up tape can be used on the back of the ruler as well. So front and back of the rulers gives you a really stable surface to run your ruler foot against. And so that's called Rough It Up tape. It's $8.99 for 3 rolls, and it is also a great price point. So these are things that you should have in your store. Oh, I wanted to mention too, the Rough It Up tape, for those people who may have trouble holding on to their acrylic rulers when they're cutting, the Rough It Up tape works really great on the acrylic rulers too. So that's something to consider. Okay, for anyone that has a sewing center and other brands of machines other than Bernina, you know that Westerly and So Steady make a ruler foot. This is just a foot off of the Bernina, but they make a ruler foot that is compatible with every brand machine to be able to do rulers. This is a Bernina ruler, but I wanted you to know, a Bernina foot, excuse me. But you can get, for all of your quilters, you can get a ruler foot that's compatible with their machine. The other thing that Westerly sells, So Steady sells, are these ruler foot echo guides. Now, just on a fluke this morning, I thought, you know, Bernina sells the echo guides. I don't remember what the price is because I'm not a Bernina dealer anymore, but they sell the echo guides, and of course they're expensive because they say Bernina. But just on a fluke this morning, I thought I'm going to try the So Steady ruler foot echo guides on the Bernina foot, and look at this. They fit perfectly. They're an absolute perfect fit for doing 1/2 inch from the center of the ruler, 3/4 of an inch from the center of the ruler, and 1 inch from the center of the ruler. And here's the deal. Only this set of 3 feet retails for $10. So perfectly on the Bernina 96 foot. I'm going to say, I don't have a 72 foot here right now, but I would certainly give it a try. And you can make a big difference for your customers by saving them some money on these echo guides. Again, you're going to have to get these through So Steady and Westerly rulers. But if you are a So Steady Westerly ruler dealer, these are available to you, and they fit not only on the Bernina 96 foot, but they fit on any of the other feet that are compatible with other brands of machines. So that's just an FYI for you. The other thing I want to encourage you to look at with So Steady is, what are these called? These
stitching line.
Oh, stitching guide.
Stitching line
guides. Stitching line guides. And you'll notice there are several in a package. Again, these retail for $10 too. There's several in a package. But what happens here, as you, if you do a lot of ruler work or you teach ruler work, you know that you need to mark your work. But how do you mark it 1/4 inch away from the ruler? Well, these guides have different size holes in the middle so that whatever you're marking with, so if you have a really thick pen, you would grab one of these that has a bigger hole. If you're using a mechanical pencil, you would grab one of these that has a smaller hole. But regardless, these are 1/4 inch disc away from the center, and so you can actually mark your entire quilt using these and how it's going to play with the ruler. So those are also $10. So these 2 items you can get from So Steady, SoSteady.com, or Westerly rulers. I don't remember who sells what, but they are fantastic accessories for you to have in your store. And not telling anyone what to do, but if you can sell these echo guides for $10 to your Bernina customers and save them some money, they're going to spend that money someplace else in your store. Okay, let's talk about the machine quilting revolution for just machine quilting revival for just a second here. This is a program that we're putting together. We have partnered up with a gal in Buenos Aires Argentina, Gabriela Bregant of Generando Blokes, and I probably completely mashed the pronunciation on that because I don't speak her language, and ironically she doesn't speak English, so we have been using Google to translate back and forth. At any rate, she is a phenomenal designer, and what's really cool about her in Argentina is they don't have fancy machines. They don't have anything but industrial machines that she had to invent a hopper foot to be able to do free motion quilting. Her work is spectacular, but she doesn't have patterns out. So Quilting Delights is generating patterns with her permission, and we are paying her for those patterns, for the rights to use those patterns, and she is phenomenal. So we've picked 5 of her projects, and there are more coming out. I just can hardly sleep at night because her work is so exciting. And we are creating full-size templates for these, and the patterns come with 2 videos each that are downloadable. So let me show you what a pattern looks like. This is the gecko one. And so you'll get a full-size pattern plus written instructions on how to set this up. And it allows your quilters to not be afraid of the design, So for example, this one has a split in it, and you can do it as 2 separate pieces, or if you take a look here, Chris just finished this. Chris is our manager here. She's the one who processes all of your orders. She just finished this for her son. She did a beautiful job and used our facing technique with this. This is fabric from her stash. So this is a way for you to show your customers how to pull from their stash. And then this particular finishing technique leaves the corners open to put a dowel, and then you can hang it if you want to, or you just stitch those down. At any rate, all of this information is on the videos that come with these classes. Now, this program, if you purchased each of the 5 patterns individually, would total $250. If you purchase them all together, it's $200 for your customer, retail, $199, and then you can contact us for wholesale pricing. But you can see we've got all the patterns printed and ready to go, and we are making more samples every single day. The other thing that we're doing to support you and your customers is putting out what's called a machine quilting primer. This will be ready next week and will be on our website under free downloads, the pattern, and then videos to support how to quilt each of those blocks. We've got fabulous designs for each block to teach people how to do ruler work quilting on this quilt. So some fun things coming up, and I want to encourage you, if you're a sewing center or a dealer or a quilt store, please use our videos, please use our projects. We've done a lot of work to get these ready for you. It saves you having to come up with the ideas yourself, and your customers will greatly appreciate having a guest teacher, that would be me, having a guest teacher in your classroom. You can play the videos in your classroom and then just be there after the videos are over to support your customers in getting these projects done. Okay, let's go over here. Chris is going to turn around and hopefully nobody gets seasick.
Try not to go too fast.
Yeah, okay. We're going to start with the quilting tool shed and some of the tools we have available here. This is a sticky lint roller. We have a small one and a miniature that goes in your purse, and a large one. And I use this, I use the large one, the handle extends. I use it on the floor to get all my threads up so that it doesn't ruin my vacuum cleaner before I vacuum. The little ones are great for design walls, and they just rinse off and then they're sticky again. So retail pricing on those. $15.99 for the set of 2 and $21.99 for the large one. Also, for those of you considering wholesale orders, anything over $300 ships for free. And we can tell you more about the minimums when you give us an email. We'll shoot you the wholesale price list and the minimums for each of these. Okay, thread storage is a huge thing, and as a Bernina dealer before I retired, we were constantly looking for these thread boxes, and no criticism intended, but Brewers thread boxes always had a label on the box that when you peeled it off, the tape would leave a residue, and I didn't care for that. So we sourced these on our own. We have boxes of 30, and we have boxes for 80. So if you have, if you're a machine quilter, you know that variety is the spice of life. And if you're an embroiderer, you know that the Isacord or glide threads fit really well in these boxes of 30. So there's no label on the box. It's brand free when you take the shrink wrap off. And the thread boxes are $18.95 for the box of 30, $21.99 for the box of 80. You can mix and match, but you have to order 6 at a time on those, just because they come in a box of 6 and it's the easiest way for us to ship them. The stacked thread storage boxes are also wonderful, and I like these because it fits the Isacord thread, but I can also put my Aurifil or any other thread in there. The stacked box, the large one will hold 30 spools, and it's $18.95, and the small one, I don't remember how many threads it holds, 18 threads, and it's $9.99, and you can mix and match those as well. We've already talked about the tack it down and rough it up tape, but I want to go next to our last quilting shed item, and this is a microfiber towel. Now let me tell you about microfiber towels. The yellow ones that you purchase from Costco are wonderful in the garage, but I don't want them anywhere near my hands because they always make me feel like my hands are chapped. They catch on your skin, and I wanted something much softer. So we went to the company that makes these for Mercedes, and they make the softest microfiber towels ever. And these are fabulous for cleaning the front of your sewing machine, for wiping off your table, but where they really work well is on the nonstick pressing sheets. And when you get goo from doing Steam-A-Seam 2 or any of the fusibles, when you get goo on there, you just get the towel damp and you wipe it off. And it's absolutely wonderful. So the microfiber towels retail for $9.99, and they are fabulous. Anyone who orders the microfiber towels this week, we will include a free one for you, so you always have one at the front counter. Okay, nonstick pressing sheets are available in white or brown, and they go from 8.5 by 11 inches all the way up to 36 by 36 inches. And we have them in a variety of sizes. They are fabulous. The other thing these are great for, if you have wool ironing mats or wool surfaces that you're pressing on, especially if you're using steam, putting one of these nonstick pressing sheets underneath your mat will keep the moisture and the heat from going down to the surface below. That's absolutely critical. I don't think most people understand that the moisture goes through those mats, and so it's really a great way to protect the surface underneath. Speaking of wool, we also have bags of 4 dryer balls. You can get them in any color combination. These are handmade in Nepal with 100% virgin New Zealand wool. And I just want to share with you, this was a bag, this gray one that I have in my hand was from a bag. I think this was the Maywood Studios.
I think so too.
Yeah, and they're super soft, and they're quite a bit smaller than the ones we have. Our prices are exactly the same, but bigger is better when it comes to dryer balls. And so I would encourage you to consider purchasing ours. These retail for $20 for a bag of 4, and you can pick whatever colors you want. Okay, the quilting tool shed, we also have the stainless steel bent tweezers. And what I love about ours is we have a hole in the end so you can put a ribbon in or scissor fob so that you can tell which one is yours. The most important part about our scissors is that they come in a clear cylinder. So for traveling and for keeping them safe in your sewing area, having these tubes to put them in is critical. We also have the squeeze scissors, same thing. They're also in a tube, and they're both stainless steel, and they retail for, the tweezers are $11.99, and the scissors are $13.99. So $11.99 for the tweezers and $13.99 for the squeeze scissors. What we encourage you to do is to sell them as a set and offer a discount, and we can talk to you more about that when you call. Speaking of wool mats, I want to just share with you that we have wool mat cleaners. I don't care who you are or how great a quilter or sewer you are going to scorch your mat at some point or another, or you're going to get fusible stuff on it and it's going to get icky. So our number one seller right now, with many, many shops who have purchased our mats and pressing bars and rolled goods, is the wool mat cleaner. They come in 3 colors, red, silver, and black, and they have a brass bar that goes across the top that does a great job cleaning those mats off. It really does. It's also good for wool sweaters, but you have to be careful what you use it on clothing wise, because it could snag. If you're trying to use it on something that's pilled up and it's a polyester or a knit, it can snag those. But on wool sweaters and on your wool ironing mats, these mat cleaners are fabulous. So let's talk about storage options for your customers. So many of you, if you are Bernina dealers, are aware, know about the storage cases for Bernina accessories. And I was the one who invented this, and we brought it to Bernina, and then Bernina brought it to you. So they brought it to you in red, and we have it available actually in 5 different colors. So the compatible foams have a hole over here that allow you to store all of your feet. Now, when I'm not so this is a great way to bring every foot you have to class. But when I'm not traveling, I take these trays out and I put them in the drawer next in my sewing cabinet, and then all of my feet are available right there. There's even an opening for a ruffler, for the walking foot, for your stitch plates, and your circle attachment, and your box for your stitch regulator. So we have these available under Storable Bliss and Threaded Bliss. It's much better than this clunky piece of plastic that comes with your machine. I would leave that one at home, and you can put up to 35 feet in here, right? Is it about 35 feet, Chris?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's about right. And then you just close it by zipping it up, and off you go to class, just like that. And we love that they're available in different colors here. You can ask us about these when you call or email. And I want to tell you about one last project that we have designed not only for our quilters, but for you as a shop, to be able to easily kit up and make available as either a beginning quilting class or as an extreme quilting class. So the ones that Chris is showing you right now are the basic quilting. We did these on our long arm with a computerized quilting pattern. They have 16 fabrics in them, so it's a great way for you to use up your tone-on-tone fabrics, whether you use Maywood or Moda Grunge, or Benartex has some fabulous tone-on-tones. You could even do this with an ombre and show them how to make those colors fade from one to the next. But this pattern is $11, and if you look over here, Chris is going to show you what the extreme quilting looks like, and we're getting ready to set the template for that, but it is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm going to be working on that here in the next week as we get this rolled out for the extreme quilting. In the meantime, you can get your customers going. You can purchase the patterns for $11. They have full color templates on the inside, and on the back we've given you a list of all of the Aurifil threads that you can make available. I think customers, I know I always appreciate it when somebody just gives me the directions. I don't want to have to go hunt stuff down. I just want to know what I need to get. So this is a great way for you to sell some Aurifil threads in your store, and a great way, we've given you all of the SKU numbers for the Maywood Studio shadow plays that we used in ours. You, of course, can use whatever you want, but this is a fabulous pattern. And let me just show you what we put the pattern in a bag, and then we cut 16 fat 8s, one of each of the colors, and then we labeled them, and this is what our customers are buying. These aren't available, the kits are not available wholesale, but they are available to customers. And we want you to do the same thing. I promise, if you will set your kits up like this and put them out front with a sample quilt already made, it'll make all the difference. Now, here's the deal that I will make for you. If you purchase 18 patterns, and I don't know what that comes to wholesale, but if you purchase 18 patterns for your store, I will send you a kit so that you can make your store samples. What's interesting about this, and the kit only has the 16 fat 8, so you'll have to decide what you want for your background. But if you are very careful in the way you cut these, you can actually get both quilts out of one package of fat 8s. So order 18 patterns, and we'll send you a kit with the Maywood Studio shadow plays for you to get up on your wall and done. This quilt, even with cutting out, takes less than an afternoon to make. Chris and I worked on it together. I cut, then she sewed, I pressed, and she sewed some more, and we had it done in a heartbeat. You can either do a plain binding all the way around, or you can do what Chris and I did on this one. As long as you square this one up to 41 inches, you can take 4 strips of color, sew them together end to end with a bias seam like we did, and put those around your quilt with the seams somewhere not on a corner, and 4 strips will exactly fit this quilt. It's pretty awesome. So that's an idea for you too. Last but not least, I want to tell you about some downloads, free downloads on our website that are available for you, and I encourage you to give these to your customers because they're fabulous finishing techniques. The handout that is on there is a free download, talks about traditional quilt binding. This is a great guide for your store as well to help customers when they say, well, I don't know how much binding I need. Okay, well, are you doing a 2-inch, 2.5 inch, or 3-inch binding? What size is your quilt? And here's what you need. So this is a super helpful thing for you to have available at your front counter to help customers with how much they need. The next technique that we use is facing the edge of a quilt, and this is the one that I showed you on Chris's gecko quilt. This is the technique, and it goes step by step. It tells you what size to cut the strips. It tells you what size to cut the corner triangles, and it has a picture by picture of what to do. This is also a really great handout for your customers, and you are welcome to print as many of these as you want. And the last technique that we show in this free download is peeper binding. And I'm telling you, ever since I learned this, and Chris brought it to my attention, I'm sure I knew this at some point in my quilting career, but I had forgotten about it. And this is a fabulous way to do table toppers, baby quilts. You sew it to the back, you wrap it around, and you sew it to the front in this little ditch right here. And I'm going to show you on this side. And the cool thing is, it looks hand sewn because the stitching goes on the background or the backing, not on your border. So the handout for this, it tells you what size strips to cut. It tells you how to sew them together. And then it tells you how to press them. And then it goes on just like regular binding, and it's attached at the seam like regular binding. But this is a free download on our website, and I would encourage you to download it yourself and have it available for your customers. Also check out our YouTube videos in regard to these techniques. I know that in the next 10 days we're doing another technique video and another handout on how to do pillow shams. I have a really cool way to do those that I want to share with you and your customers. And so if you're giving them the information, they're coming to you as the resource, which is what we're looking for. Thanks for watching. Give us a call, either Chris or me, at 503-658-1600. My name is Thea. It's spelled T-H-E-A, but pronounced with the H silent. So either Chris or me at 503-658-1600, or you can email us info@quiltingdelights.com. And in the header or subject line, just put wholesale pricing, and we are happy to help you. We will leave this video up until Monday afternoon, and Monday is February, I can't remember. February 28th. So this will be up until the last day of the month. And our special pricing that we can share with you is also available through Monday the 28th. Have a great day, have a wonderful weekend, and happy selling to you and your customers.